Picture this: Benedict Bridgerton, standing in the rain, looking at someone like his entire world just shifted. And that's just the first 5 seconds of this trailer. If you thought the Part 1 breakdown was intense, Part 2 is about to blow your mind because we're diving into the scenes that Netflix almost didn't want us to see. The hints are subtle, the chemistry is explosive, and there's one detail in the background that changes everything we thought we knew about this season. So buckle up, because we're about to break down every single frame, every stolen glance, and every hidden clue that's going to make Episode 5 the most talked about episode in Bridgerton history. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be rewatching that trailer at least 10 more times. Let's jump straight into what everyone's been dying to see: Benedict Bridgerton's love story. And oh my goodness, this trailer gives us so much more than we expected. Right at the start, we see Benedict at what looks like a masquerade ball. Now, pay attention to this because the masquerade theme is huge for his character. In the books, masks play a major role in his romantic journey, and seeing this in the trailer confirms that the show is staying true to that storyline. But here's where it gets interesting. Benedict isn't just attending this ball. He's actively searching for someone. You can see it in his eyes. He's moving through the crowd, looking left and right, almost desperate. His body language screams urgency, and then, for just a split second, the camera focuses on his hand reaching out. Whose hand is he reaching for? We don't see the full reveal, but we do see a glimpse of a silver gown. That color choice is intentional, people. Silver in Bridgerton's costume language represents mystery and new beginnings. Now let's talk about the next scene, because this one made my jaw drop. We see Benedict in his art studio, but he's not alone. There's someone posing for him, and based on the silhouette, this is clearly an intimate moment. The lighting in this scene is absolutely beautiful. It's all warm candlelight, creating this incredibly romantic atmosphere. And here's the kicker: Benedict's not even looking at his canvas. He's staring directly at his subject with this expression. That's part wonder, part fear, part complete and utter captivation. This is not the carefree, joking Benedict we've known. This is a man who's fallen, and he's fallen hard. The costume department deserves an award for this trailer alone. Benedict's wearing deep emerald green in several scenes, which is a complete departure from his usual blues and grays. Green symbolizes growth and transformation in the show's visual storytelling. It's telling us that Benedict is evolving, changing, becoming someone new through this relationship. And if you look closely at his cravat in the studio scene, it's slightly loosened. For the Regency era, that's basically the equivalent of showing up in your pajamas. It represents vulnerability and letting his guard down. But wait, there's more. In another quick flash, we see Benedict at a garden party, and he's laughing. Genuinely, freely laughing in a way we haven't seen since maybe season 1. The person he's with is just off camera, but you can see rose petals falling around them. Roses are classic romance symbols. Yes, but in Bridgerton, they specifically represent passionate, transformative love, the kind that changes you forever. The show is telling us that whatever Benedict's experiencing, it's not just a passing fancy. This is the romance for him. Now, here's where things take a sharp turn. And honestly, this is the part of the trailer that had me pausing and rewinding about 20 times. Because hidden between all those beautiful romantic moments, there's a storm brewing, and it's darker than anything we've seen this season. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening beneath the surface. There's this scene that flashes by in literally 2 seconds, but it's absolutely loaded with tension. We see Lady Danbury standing in what appears to be her drawing room, and she's holding a letter. But this isn't just any letter. Her hands are actually shaking. Lady Danbury, the woman who stares down the Queen without flinching, her hands are trembling. That alone should tell you that whatever's in that letter, it's catastrophic. And if you look at the frame behind her, there's a mirror, and in that mirror's reflection, you can see someone else in the room. someone wearing dark clothing. The show wants us to notice this because they deliberately kept it in focus. Cut to the very next scene, and we're in the Bridgerton household, but something feels off, the usual warm. Golden lighting is gone. Everything's cold and blue-toned. Violet Bridgerton is sitting at the breakfast table, and every single one of her children is there. When was the last time we saw all the Bridgerton siblings in one room looking that serious? Even Gregory and Hyacinth look worried. This isn't a family breakfast. This is a family crisis meeting. And here's the detail that everyone's missing. There's an empty chair at the table. One chair, someone's missing from this gathering. And based on the seating arrangement, it's not a random guest chair. It's a family member's spot. The trailer then cuts to what I believe is the episode's main conflict point. We see a ballroom absolutely packed with the tense elite. Everything looks normal at first glance, people dancing, champagne flowing, the usual Bridgerton party extravagance. But then the music stops abruptly, not a gentle fade out, but a complete, sudden stop. And every single person in that ballroom turns to look at the entrance. Their faces show everything from shock to horror to what looks like scandalized excitement. The camera doesn't show us what they're looking at immediately. Instead, it pans slowly across the crowd's reactions. That's a deliberate choice. The show is building suspense because whatever's happening at that entrance, it's going to shatter someone's reputation. Here's where my theory comes in, and I think the clues support this. In the background of that ballroom scene, if you look at the left side of the frame, you can see someone rushing toward the exit. They're trying to leave before whatever scandal unfolds. And based on the height and build, plus that distinctive blue coat, I'm pretty sure that's a Bridgerton. Someone in the family knows what's about to happen and is trying to escape before it all explodes. That means this scandal isn't just affecting the family. Someone in the family might be at the center of it. But the trailer's not done twisting the knife. There's a flash of what looks like Buckingham House, the Queen's residence. And we see her sitting on her throne, but she's not amused or entertained. Like usual, she looks furious, absolutely livid. Her fan is closed, which in Regency fan language means she's about to deliver punishment. Whoever's on the receiving end of that royal anger is in serious trouble. Career ending. Exile from society, level trouble, and connecting this to the ballroom scene. Someone's about to face the Queen's judgment, publicly, okay. Can we talk about the fact that Eloise Bridgerton appears in this trailer for exactly 7 seconds? But those 7 seconds tell an entire story, because, well, everyone's focused on the main drama. Eloise is out here living her own secret subplot that I think is going to collide with the main storyline in the most explosive way possible. Let me break down what the show is quietly showing us while we're distracted by everything else. First frame with Eloise. She's in a bookshop. Normal for her, right? Wrong? Look at what she's actually doing. She's not browsing. She's not reading. She's handing something to someone across the counter. And she's looking over her shoulder while doing it. That's suspicious behavior. That's someone who doesn't want to be seen. And the person behind the counter. Their face is deliberately kept in shadow, but you can see they're wearing glasses and have ink stains on their fingers. This is someone who works with words professionally. A publisher, maybe. A printer. Now why would Eloise Bridgerton be secretly meeting with someone in the printing business while looking terrified of being caught? Then we get this absolutely bizarre shot that lasts maybe 3 seconds. Penelope and Colin are walking together, which is expected since they're married now. But Penelope stops mid-step and grabs Colin's arm hard. You can see her knuckles are white from gripping so tight. And she's staring at something across the street with this look of pure panic on her face. Colin follows her gaze, and his expression shifts from confusion to anger in a split second. The camera doesn't show us what they're looking at, but it cuts immediately to a newspaper being printed, pages rolling off a press, wet ink gleaming, and on that page, you can just barely make out a headline, but the words are blurred intentionally. However, if you brighten the image and zoom in, You can see the word Whistledown clear as day. Here's what I think is happening. And this is going to sound wild, but stay with me. Someone knows Penelope's secret, or worse, someone's trying to. Become the NEW Lady Whistledown. Think about it. Eloise secretly meeting with a publisher. A new scandal sheet being printed. Penelope's panicked reaction. These aren't separate stories. They're all connected. And if Eloise has decided to start her own version of Whistledown to expose society's hypocrisy about women's education and rights, that would be sulfur monoxide in character for her. But it would also put her in direct conflict with Penelope and potentially destroy both their reputations. Now let's talk about Francesca, because she gets one scene in this trailer, but it's significant. She's playing piano, which again, totally normal for her character, but she hits a wrong note. Francesca Bridgerton, the perfectionist musician, plays a wrong note, and she doesn't correct it. She just stops, hands frozen over the keys, staring down at them like they've betrayed her. John Sterling walks into frame behind her, and you can see his reflection in the polished wood of the piano. He places his hand on her shoulder, but she doesn't lean into it. She doesn't react at all. There's distance there, emotional distance. Something's broken between them, or something's about to break. The Featheringtons get about 4 seconds of screen time, but those 4 seconds are comedy gold and also slightly terrifying. Portia Featherington is in full scheming mode. You can see it in her eyes. She's at what looks like a luncheon, whispering intensely to another society matron, and in the background, Prudence and Philippa are eavesdropping while pretending to examine a flower arrangement. Whatever Portia's planning, she's recruiting allies, and knowing Portia, it's either going to be brilliant or it's going to blow up spectacularly. Possibly both. The flower arrangement they're examining, by the way, all white lilies in Victorian flower language. White lilies mean it's heavenly to be with you. But they're also funeral flowers. Make of that what you will. Asterisk alright. Now, we're getting into the really juicy stuff that you absolutely missed on your first watch. I'm talking about the blink and you'll miss it details that the editors tucked into this trailer like little PR. Essence for obsessive fans like us. And trust me, once you see these, you're going to lose your mind because they completely change how we understand what's coming in episode 5. Let's start with the paintings. Yes, the paintings. There are 3 distinct shots in this trailer where paintings appear in the background, and they're not random set decoration. First painting, it's hanging in the Bridgerton house hallway, and it shows a ship in a storm. Storms represent chaos and transformation, but ships mean journeys and departures. Someone's leaving. Second painting, visible behind the queen for just a moment, showing a chess game. Chess equals strategy and calculated moves. The queen's planning something major. Third painting, in Benedict's studio, and this one's fascinating because it's a half-finished portrait. You can see the outline of a face, but no features filled in yet. That represents identity hidden or identity yet to be revealed. See the pattern, journey, strategy, hidden identity. The show is literally painting us a roadmap of the episode's themes. Now, let's talk about the book references that have book readers absolutely screaming. There's a scene where someone, we can't see who, is reading by candlelight. The camera focuses on their hands turning the page. And if you pause at exactly the right moment, you can see the chapter heading. It says an offer from a gentleman. That's the title of Benedict's book. The show is telling book readers that they're pulling directly from that storyline. But here's the twist. In the show's timeline, things are happening differently. The masquerade ball, the mystery surrounding his love interest, it's all being remixed. So book readers can't get too comfortable thinking they know exactly what's coming. There's also this incredibly sneaky callback to season 1 that gave me chills. Remember the necklace? The one Prince Friedrich gave Daphne, it appears again. For literally 1 second, you can see it in a jewelry box that someone's opening. Now, Daphne's happily married to Simon. So why is that necklace resurfacing? That necklace represented a path not taken, a different choice, a different life. Whoever's looking at it now is facing their own major life decision, a choice between the safe path and the passionate one, between duty and desire. The show's using visual callbacks to tell us that history's rhyming, not repeating. Let me blow your mind with this next detail. The clock. There are 5 different shots in this trailer where a clock is visible. And in every single one, the time is different, but the minute hand is always pointing at the number 5, episode 5. The show is obsessed with the number 5 this trailer. 5 rose petals falling in the garden scene. 5 candles lit in Benedict's studio. 5 people visible in the ballroom scandal scene before it cuts away. 5 letters on Lady Danbury's desk. This is intentional. Episode 5 isn't just another episode. It's the episode. The one where everything we've been building toward explodes. So, here's my prediction for what's actually going down in episode 5. Based on everything we've analyzed, Benedict's love story reaches a critical turning point at the masquerade ball. But his romance becomes entangled with a massive society scandal. That scandal involves either a secret identity being revealed or someone's past coming back to haunt them. Meanwhile, Eloise's secret project, whatever she's planning with that publisher, accidentally triggers a crisis that affects multiple families. Penelope's trying to manage the fallout while protecting her own secret, but she can't control everything. The queen gets involved because the scandal threatens the Tin's social order. And she makes an example of someone, and that empty chair at the Bridgerton family table. Someone's either leaving London in disgrace or making a choice that separates them from the family temporarily. The biggest reveal, the one the trailer is dancing around without showing us, involves identity. Someone is not who they've claimed to be, or someone's been hiding a massive secret about their past. And when that truth comes out in the middle of that ballroom with everyone watching, it's going to create a shockwave that affects every single storyline we've been following. The rain, the stopped music, the Queen's fury, Benedict's vulnerability, Eloise's schemes, it all crashes together in one explosive episode. And here's my wildest theory that I'm just going to throw out there. What if the person Benedict's falling for is connected to the scandal? What if his heart and his family loyalty are about to be tested in the most brutal way possible? That would explain why the trailer keeps cutting between his romantic scenes and the crisis scenes. They're not separate stories. They're the same story. So that's it. That's everything hidden in part 2 of this trailer. Every detail, every clue, every sneaky hint the editors left for us to find. Episode 5 is going to be absolute chaos in the best way possible, and I genuinely don't think we're prepared for what's coming. Drop your theories in the comments below because I want to know what you think is going to happen. Did you catch any details I missed? Do you think I'm completely wrong about the Eloise theory? Let's talk about it. And if you want more Bridgerton breakdowns, hit that subscribe button because when episode 5 actually drops, you know I'm going to be here analyzing every single frame. Until next time, stay obsessed, my friends.